Hi guys, sorry about the heat pad. Weird, I know. I've got a sore back. Little sore. Not surprised. Before I have my shower, let's have a chat. Because we know there's been some frustrations. So when there's frustrations, what needs to happen? You need to sit and think. Come up with solutions. Correct. So that's what I've done. I'm not complete. No, I don't have all my shit together. I don't think anyone does, like someone said in the comments. Now, I just want to say, especially to you guys, and even if you guys are listening and you've said it in your head, I really, really feel for this person, or I really, really relate to this feeling. I've had this similar feeling in my life due to blah, 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 blah. If you've empathized with me, even though you haven't written a comment, this is for all of you. Thank you so much for listening to me, because it is something that's going on in my life that's not actually going on in my life. Everyone else that I deal with has a different agenda. Not saying that everything's maliciously, not at all. Just saying everyone else has a different agenda to my agenda. And when you're in my position, you can't compromise your agenda, because it could be life or death. It could be, you know, a miserable life compared to a really vibrant life. There's so many factors in what I have to do to make my life functional in the systems that I'm in, because of the reason for being in the systems that I'm in, which is being a rare patient, which makes it just so hard. And I'm not justifying anything. Gosh, I agree with all of you with what you're saying. Hang on, I'm just getting a chewy, because the taste of coffee in my mouth is getting a bit stale. I need to get in the shower. I need to get in the shower. I need to get in the shower. And you know what? There's a special person out there that made me have the ability to buy the most beautiful pajamas that are the most comfortable things that I am so looking forward to putting on. I'm just going to say that. This top actually represents one of my YouTubers I've watched for 10 years, however long she's been on. Could be more. I don't know. But because I respect the fact that that person was always showing up. And in my times of being stuck in bed, watching, you know, I guess it's relating to this person in a way of what my life used to be. My life used to be like hers. So I like the feeling of looking back and watching, you know, others go through the same magical process that I went through. So anyway, that's just the reason. And I like to support local when I can. Local businesses that you know, support them. But also I just respect this person's channel. And to you guys that say things to me, that I am your person of the day, I have people too that are my people of the day. That includes you guys and people I watch. And I appreciate that. And I think that we are doing the right thing, because I think society's too caught up in not the face-to-face thing. And I know it's through a screen, but none of us choose this. Like what a lot of us say in the comments, if we could sit together and have a laugh and have drinks together in whatever format, we would have a ball, wouldn't we? We all know that. But we all know that the world is so broken that it wants us all miserable. Really? I mean, that's the government's goal. I mean, do you really see them doing policy changing or doing anything that makes us all really excited and happy and living well? No. Just a percentage of them. So, and especially when you have disability, you do not have many options of living at all. And you certainly lose all of your dreams. And a lot of you can relate to that. And a lot of you can relate to the medical journey. And I appreciate the fact that even though I'm disgusted at what some people have to go through too, and think, wow, and even in my own country, it's like, this is not okay. I'm so sorry, but you're making me feel less alone. Of course, I'm always going to have that fear because of being rare, that they're going to miss things that will cause my demise because they just don't know. Of course, I'm going to have that fear. I've already passed my life expectancy. Doesn't mean that's a good thing and like, oh wow, that means that you're going to be okay. No, it doesn't guarantee any difference in any way. I've still got the same risk factors as I had when I was born. And I need that respected. I don't sit here every day and get up every morning and go, I could die any day. Oh, okay, I don't act like that. I don't live like that. But I'm just saying, when it's come up to do with my needs or whatever, or how I want to live my life now, naturally, I mean, you do want to live your life a little bit different when you've got that hanging over your head. But I don't like the responses. I don't like the gaslighting. I don't like the I'm just going to ignore that. I don't like that.
This is your Google Nurse. Dyan, take your lunchtime medication.
All right, dude. Yes, I know, it's lunchtime. You know why? The seizure. You saw it. I slept in a little bit extra because, you know, my brain's just a little bit exhausted. Gotta take the chewy out. Pat them. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, I gotta get this straight. Alright, do not play with my Barbie Monopoly. Sorry. I know some people might think that's stupid that I have Barbie Monopoly, but I don't. I think it's cool. You should see the pieces that, anyway, distraction. The Barbie car's better to have when you're playing. And it's got better, because the Monopoly one that I know has, you know, streets of England. I don't live in England. I'm 83% UK made in DNA, but I'm born and bred in Australia. Unfortunately, grandfather, you got it wrong. And other side of the family, you didn't come that way back. Okay, go underneath. It's very silly, but go under here. Go under here. Oh, will I go under there? Oh my goodness, he always has to go in the cubby. It's his morning ritual. He spends an hour sleeping under there. Just an hour a day, and he's happy. Weirdo. So, you know, I don't know those names, but the Barbie one's better. Anyway, get back to the ADHD going on there. So, I know that at the moment, people are just doing what makes things work for themselves, and that's how they stay not stressed. So I'm doing the same now. I'm going to have expectations like I'm allowed to have and say, right, this is what makes me feel comfortable. This is what I feel is right for me. These are my needs. Can you meet them? And that's all I can do. Even down to, I have requested, well, I want these staff and these staff and these staff and these staff, and you've got to balance your staff out, because, you know, having the same person day in, day out, no one really wants that personally, because guys, this is what the system forgets. The people that work in the system forget. You're letting people into your home, hearing your personal conversations, seeing all of your things in your home, being privy to just everything, you know? And that's a lot, and a lot of hours in a day. So that needs to be respected. That's not easy to do when you're in your 50s and you're a couple. It's not easy to do, because when you're in your 50s, it's just a developmental thing. It's not a, oh my gosh, thing. It's developmental. You're set in your ways. You know what you do and don't want, and you're firm on that. And if I'm going to die any day, I'll be damned if I'm going to live one more day frustrated, miserable. Oh, I need this. Oh, I've got to set this up. Oh, that's not working. No, I am going to bust my butt until I get things settled, not in a way that others think is best for me, because that hasn't been working. That's where the mistake's been. I don't care if it's intentional or not intentional. The fact is, I'm going to make sure that things are a right fit for me, and me having different people swapping around on different days and for different reasons, you know, like depending on what activities you do on a Monday compared to what you do on a Saturday, Sunday. Everything's different, right? So things come down to that. And, you know, that is something I have to do so that my daily living, my weekly living, is the way I need it to be for me, to live my best life so I'm happy, so I'm not having to go, oh, I need you for this and we need to talk about this. That is just doing my head in. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. The industry doesn't seem to have time for that. And so my personal thing of this is, and it's always come back to this, guys, and have you all, especially you mature women, I'm not putting you women down that are young, listen if you're young, because I do want you guys to learn through me, because I'm telling you, I wish I listened to the smart ones that told me, these older women, this is how real life really is, and I'd go, no, it's not, because I used to be in my 20s and 30s, and I was so Disneylandy, okay, and not everything's Disneyland. So trust me, the things that you don't think will ever happen to you could happen to you. It's that's the truth of life. Okay, let's just be honest about that. You don't get what you deserve. You know, sad. Really, really is sad. Look at the epidemic of grown children hating on their parents. Some deserve it. Amen. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I've got abusive parents. Okay. I know exactly what it's like to be criminally abused by your parents. But there's a difference to, oh no, you're not like just saying what I want to hear all the time. That's not reality. I had in-laws who, they were like my parents. I had grandparents who were like my parents, and I didn't like everything they said about me. I didn't like sometimes my grandfather would look at my mini skirt and go, really? What are you asking for? I felt, in my personal opinion, I feel like that's good feedback to someone who's young. That is good feedback, to be a little bit more sensible and not so stupid to go out in public like that, because what am I inviting? As a 50-year-old woman, I certainly know what that invites, and I really am glad, because it's just not appropriate. That is for people who you want to share that with, basically. Let's just leave it at that. Mature women, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm not shaming any of you young ones, because I've been there. I was the same. Just don't feel any shame. It's just evolution of human development, really. So be young. What do they say? Be young and stupid. You have the right to be young and stupid, so go for it. Just do what you want to do and don't look back, because in the end, this is what you're meant to learn. Don't worry about it. Okay? It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to fuck up your life. As in, like, you're probably not fucking up, but to totally change it. Like, just grow in your own way. But now I'm learning that. And I'm global developmentally delayed. So I learn late. And I mask well. And I get treated like I'm 51. And some of these conversations traumatize me because of it. Because I'm not 51. Mentally. So when some people talk about certain things, I'm like, no. And it's also not a mental illness. It's not a mental illness to be retarded. I know people hate that, but I'm talking about myself. Ever since I was a little girl, I've never been my age group. And I've been tested for 15 hours straight by a neuropsychologist. They studied for what, 8 years? Come on. I'm 18 to 21 and I'm 51. I need to get retested to make sure that hasn't regressed. I don't think it has, but I'm telling you, This is reality for some of us. And you're thinking, oh, but you speak so well. Yes, I do. I come from a well-to-do families. Okay, I've been trained like a cocky. That's a chicken. Okay. I love birds, including chickens. Just ask one of my neighbours. She thought it was weird that they would sit on my lap. She was quite surprised. Anyway. No discrimination to birds. I'm getting cramp in my foot. Cramp. Okay, let's just stretch that out. Stretch it out. So basically, I need to be treated the way I need to be treated. You in the system, or any system you're in, or just by people in your life, even family, should treat you the way you need to be treated. And if you have and are special needs, like me, if you're supposed to be under guardianship, so like you're a child, I mean, I'm not a child, but guardianship for safety, because I'm not, I guess what you could say, you know, you see adults who vote and drink and drive a car, but they're on P plates. Think of me as constantly on probation, because I could make a mistake. I could get into trouble. I could have people sway me and manipulate me to the point of it could kill me. I could end up murdered. This isn't a joke, guys. It's not a fucking joke about my risk factors of my mental age, my autism. I'm so sick of autism in Australia being manipulated into mental health. So not that. And therapy. Which therapy do you need? And I'm not talking about you Americans who do like the right therapies. You guys actually do, not all places, but the good places. They do the right therapy. But in Australia, no, they bloody don't. Tony Atwood is the guru of internationally of autism, especially those of us that can talk, because apparently we're so much smarter. No, the non-verbals are bloody smart. Trust me. But he knows everything. He'll say one thing, and he says it over and over. No autistic should ever have contact with the mental health system. They do not know shit about autism. Most of our psychiatrists in Australia don't even understand autism. Yeah. They just deal with the severe ones that, yes, I understand. For those parents, it's tough because they can't speak. They can't do all of the things that, say, people can do with people like myself with autism. But unfortunately, it involves drugs. Because what are these people like? To drug people up in Australia. These psychiatrists just love drugging you up. And antipsychotics can make you psychotic. So be very careful. Okay? Even from my doctor, I weigh up what I take and when I take it. I discuss it with him, don't get me wrong. I don't just take myself off a medication that say he's recommended I be on, but I'm just saying I don't take every drug or every medicine that's just thrown at me. No, I don't. Just like what I'm doing now with how I'm going to live my life, my daily living, what that involves, who that involves, down to staff, everything. It's my decision. Choice and control is what the NDS always talks about anyway. This is my decision. I understand why. I'm seeing it in myself that my mental health has gone downhill because the stress of meeting new people, settling in with new people, it's been obviously for my situation with how autistic I am, with how I don't need so much social contact. I only need limited social contact because I'm autistic, not because I'm antisocial. Because females get, we don't get seen the same as a male. A male can go and play his Xbox and everyone just goes, yeah, that's an autistic guy, like he's going to do that. But me, I could be like, listening to music, watching YouTube, whatever else, and people think, oh, she's so antisocial. No, I'm autistic and I'm doing my special interests. So, it's very difficult to, and then like here I am actually doing something productive. And you guys can pretty much back me up, especially you guys that have watched me on, a few channels. There's a lot of you that have seen me through 2 channels. There's a lot of you that have been here since the beginning. And I'm just going to say this. I work hard from bed. Luckily, I have a device where I can lay down and just literally do things right like that so that I'm not hurting myself. I'm not making my heart, hurt to the point of getting chest pain. I'm not risking my health in any way. I'm resting. I'm chilled while doing it. Is to be able to run a YouTube channel. And that's why I do it. And that's why I'm so passionate about it, because you guys are, just like you guys say, you guys are just as important to me as some of you feel I am to you. I appreciate the connection we all have. And I will nurture that forever until I'm no longer here, because I want people who were where I used to be, which was, I was diagnosed with autism when it wasn't trendy. Sorry. It wasn't cool. And I felt so embarrassed and ashamed. And even going through the DSM booklet and having to discuss childhood stuff and just thinking, oh my goodness, because I was so severe as a child. And just thinking of all the behaviors I did because of my autism. It's so hard to look back. And then you add on top of that the reactions of the people around me. Because in those days, girls didn't have autism. I was treated really badly. Now, I probably would have been treated badly regardless of having autism. So let's just not give my mother an excuse here, or my father, because they both have failed, full stop. And I really wish that the younger generations would really understand what true abuse is. I get that some psychological abuse can be damaging. And if you are genuinely abused to the point of you are yelled at every day, you are told that you're no good, of course that's abuse. I back you up, like 100%. You're in my category. But those that just weren't treated that way, those that just had like parents just wanted the best for them, doted over them, but ditching them, that's just bullshit. That's just bullshit. And that is an epidemic. And I'm in that category. Okay? I didn't do anything wrong. It's already always been said. Okay? But where are they? They don't want me. And that's just not okay in my eyes. It's disrespectful. Because if they needed me tomorrow, I'd drop everything and be there. They swore at me, I'd still be sitting there with them. And I believe it's a two-way street. It's unconditional love in families. Unless there's absolute severe abuse, yes. Like people that, you don't swear at your child. You don't tell your child they're a piece of shit. You don't abuse your child. Duh. We know what abuse is and we know what not abuse. Same with back in the X generation. When I got hit with a hand or a thong because I did something bad, I deserved it. I'm grateful because I'm a good person for it. Okay? But the bashings, not okay. Because I didn't do anything for it. And bashing your kid is not ever been legal. So there you go. But basically, at the end of the day, you have to take control of your life. And that's what I'm doing. And I know a lot of people are going to be pissed off with it, but that's because they're not getting their own way. But who's going to get their own way? Who's going to get their own way in this situation? Who should it be? Now let's really philosophically think about it. Who should get their own way in this situation? Who's the one paying? Me. I pay these people. This isn't a charity. We were 25 plus years self-funded. No Centrelink for our children. No Centrelink for me. They diagnosed me. They got out of a lot of help that I needed. I'm sorry, but this is in Australia. This is what we pay more tax for. Healthcare and disability care. And if you were disabled due to no fault of your own, born with a genetic syndrome that you didn't ask for, what would you expect? And I mean, really think about it. What would you expect to be treated like, living like? And I've even had people say, oh, you know, but oh, do you really want to be around people that are, you know, rich and snobby and all this? And that's all I know. And I'm not being a snob when I say that, because I've never been, because of my roots being pretty much hippie, had very, very young parents. My parents were 21 when they had me. 21. So just like me being a young parent, my parents were young, okay? They were hippies. So, you know, they both come from wealth. Their families have a lot of money, very comfortable, okay? They both could go, mom, dad, and it's just like private schooling, everything. That was not my experience at all. My half-sisters, oh, they had that experience in many ways of luxury, but not me. Zero of that. And my brother knows it. My brother's even needed to be in therapy, and he was the golden child. So what the fuck does that tell you? Anyway, so care, just like growing up in shit and having shit care, but then having good care with my grandparents and aunties and uncles and, I don't know, family, friends, whatever, having good care, those people made me who I am. They made me have these morals and values that I have. And just like the care I need now, I need quality of care, because obviously this generation thinks, oh, mum could die any day. Well, I'm just going to keep playing like games about this toxic behavior game because the other kids are doing it to their parents, and I'm just going to join in because I want to control my parent. Well, I don't want to control my adult children, so why would they want to control me? I really don't think it's us, guys. So don't even wear it. And I know a lot of millennials have come at me about this. And look, you're just like my own kids. I hear this toxic bullshit over and over. I've studied psychology and I can read right through it. Okay? Life is trauma. Life is shit. It's not fucking Disneyland. And your parents' intentions are everything. And they're not perfect, and they actually are people. They're people too. They're not just your mum, your dad. They're actually a person, an imperfect person. But if you know they're a good person, you should never disrespect them. If they are abusive and they just don't stop and they don't respect your boundaries, of course you have the right to say, no contact. I get it. I back you up on that. But know the difference. And same with any care like I'm talking about. It might be in your country something different. We have the NDIS. I will always expect a certain standard of care, okay? And I've already dropped it way low because I've had to, because don't lie to me, anyone in this goddamn Australian world, that Australia hasn't fallen apart. Don't tell me that we're doing great. Don't tell me that people are really compassionate and empathetic and doing great and really happy. And no, don't tell me the bullshit, because I'll call you out on it, because your toxic positivity ain't welcome here. I'm a realist, but it doesn't mean I live in misery, okay? I'm actually considering the chaos internally because of where I come from, the strength that I have within. I'm a very content person, because I always make sure that when things spiral out of control, like what I've let happen at the moment, right, that's it. I've got to take control back of my life because this is getting out of control. And then when I'm stressed, then you get picked on for being stressed. Oh, you're stressed, I'm just going to pick on your inabilities. It's like, oh my gosh. It's a bit like what the hospital does, you know. It's like you sleep deprive me, and then you wonder why I don't trust the procedure to go ahead and to not have a seizure, which is the whole plan of all of us coming together and all of these big specialists involved to actually make sure it doesn't happen. And then they do all the opposite to make it happen. Because to them, a death is nothing. Same with this systems, no offense, but how they do your stuff, they aren't there for your daily living or weekly living, and they don't really want to know about if it's going okay, if you're happy or not. I'm sorry, but that's just, I'm not picking on anyone specifically here. I'm saying the whole system is just about money. Of course there's some absolute angels in the system. I've got angels around me, okay? I do. But I'm just saying, it's not black and white, but the NGOs has even admitted themselves that there's a problem with staff. There's a problem with staff level of their training, that we want Cert 4 minimum. There's still more work to be done. And I do believe the system will improve. And I know that some people aren't happy with the system for other reasons, and I feel for you, and I respect that, because it comes down to, like any government thing, it's you got to go through a maze and play a game and do all these jumping through hoops to get what you need, and you shouldn't have to. What your doctor, what your OT, what your specialist say should be final. But no, an admin person comes in and goes, and you go, how can you ignore an OT, a doctor, and a specialist, and you just go, how can you ignore that? But they do. But you've got to fight for everything you need, so do, because you're worth it. Ask others to help you if you can't. But I am taking back control, and I know that it's going to make me maybe not popular, but to people who think that I'm, you know, a controlling person for doing what I'm doing, isn't that what's being done to me though? Aren't I being controlled on what I can and can't do or have? Yes, I am. And I'm not saying that you're doing that maliciously, but I'm just saying everyone has to be happy. I think that when you work with people, you've got to make sure that all of us need to work together more. You can't just kind of like pigeonhole people and just give them a form and just go, there we go, we'll just, you know, go with that. And no one does this on purpose, I don't think, at all. I don't think people try and like, what's the word, you know, none of it's on purpose. It's just, to be honest, and I don't even think it's something that they want to think about because they are good people. It's time. It takes time to do certain actions for the participant, and then that takes more money. So, and like something that someone, not someone here, because I want to make that perfectly clear, but someone that has said to me, you know, but it comes down to business. And that's what made me, I think, click and go, right, well, if it's a business, then I'm a consumer and I'm the payer, and I want to ask for the things to work the way I want them to work, so I can live my best daily living and get my daily living tasks done and done in the right way, so that I never have to talk to anyone again about this whole thing, because it's just all sorted. That was when I clicked. Because it's just a business, it's true. These people are not my family. It is just business. I'm not saying they don't care. Not at all. Not at all. They do. Okay. And there is, majority of agencies don't care. I know this agency cares. So, but I'm just saying, when it comes down to, right down to the fine tuning of things, people just don't realise. And it affects me directly. And I have to, and it comes back to what I was trying to say just before. I was trying to say just before, and I've now just remembered. So to wrap this up, think of this. Do you guys ever feel this? Because this happens to me all the time. I always go, oh my goodness, yep, I should have remembered. I need to just do it myself. How many of you have said that to yourself and gone, why do I always forget that? How come my life is always smoother when I go, right, I'm taking control of my life. No longer am I going to let someone else or other people lead me. No, 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 no. No one's going to tell me what the fuck to do. The next person that tries that, watch out, because this is my life. Consequences are on me. Whatever I do, whatever I say, however I act, the consequences are on me. So if I stay stressed in the current way things have been going, got to meet new people, autism goes offline, goes crazy, meltdowns might happen, who knows, sometimes they don't, but I'm the one that will look like the fool. I'll be the one that will look like, oh my gosh, he's always stressed. Then I'm going to cut the chain off where the stress is, because then I won't be stressed and I won't get blamed for it. Does that make sense? Do it yourself. That's the point of things. Do it yourself. And I'm going to go back to that, because now I've just remembered, like I said, every time in my life, I think since somewhere in my 30s, I decided, wow, it comes back to that. Whenever I try and involve others in my life, it just always ends up coming back to, oh, this is just so stressful. It's better just to do it myself. And I keep going back into it, but that's not totally my fault. People, and look, I'm not going to say what their intentions are because I don't know. Yes, it could be for money. Yes, it could be because they care. But people keep telling me that we want you to be having all these things, and they put all these things in your head. And to be honest, there's some people along the way that have been saying grandiose things that never happened. And I'm still getting told things. Oh, we'll get you a van, we'll get you a car, we'll get you this. Stop! Respite with your partner. No, 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 no. The system has said no. Okay? I'm tired of being built up and then squashed out like a gnat. And when I'm upset, everyone goes, oh, she's going off again. Well, it stops now. It stops now. I don't want false belief systems put in my head. I don't want this, oh, but you know, we can care for you and cover all your needs. You can't. No one can. And I'm going to take it back to the good old-fashioned conservative side of me. This is what my family should be doing, not paid services. That's what's wrong with the world. So if you want to look at who to blame, I blame society. And I blame the fact that my family don't want to care for me at this point in my life. And I'm talking about it widely, because there's more than just my mother and my father in my life that were, you know, they were the problematic ones. But the rest of them, what's their problem? They just make it up and keep changing the problems as they go, because they're just assholes to me. Because I am the easy attack person, because I was the autistic child, the sick child. I was the scapegoat. I should be careful by my family. This is all not how it's meant to be. That's why it doesn't feel right. It's not me. It'll always feel not quite right, because it's not natural. And I bet you go to every aged village and ask those elderly, would you rather your grandchild or your child or someone in the family to be caring for you than us? They'll all say yes. So stop the belief system that just doesn't work. And if you're saying, oh, well, you just got to work with what you've got then, and, you know, that's a pipe dream, okay, then the choice and control, I'm engaging, beep, I'm asking for what I want. And that's how I'm approaching it, and that's how I recommend you all approach your life, is you ask for what you want, you work out how you want to live your life, and you make sure that happens because you're in charge of your life, you're the narrator of your life, you're in control of your life. Others should not be in control of your life. That wouldn't be okay. And I know that nothing's ideal for us with disability because the world needs to come further. They're nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. Let's stop lying about autism awareness crap. We have not gotten anywhere, to be quite honest. Let's really look at it. We haven't gotten anywhere. A lot of people like you and me who are autistic cannot show our authentic selves because we will just be absolutely slayed by evil people. Infantilized. Stupid things like that we all hate. So, medically, rare. Where have we come since eons? Nowhere. Healthcare in Australia, well, it's disappearing. We all know it. And those of you that don't, it's funny because everyone I speak to in person, everyone I speak to online, yeah, they're pretty aware. And these are people that are working with people in the system that I speak to in real life. Okay, they know the hospitals, even the my hospital. They know the shitness of that hospital for every participant they have. Funny that. So I'm not the common denominator, if that's the theory you're trying to use. The Australian health system is broken, the NDIS system is broken, and I am not to blame for that. I'm also not to blame for businesses that maybe struggle to get their business up and running. I am nothing but a patient, compassionate, empathetic cheerleader for my company that I have, because that's the kind of person I am. And all I ever expect in return is that when I ask for my needs and the things that I want, that people try to their best of their ability to help me with that. And I think that's fair and reasonable. And sadly, yeah, it is business, isn't it? It is. And for those that, you know, for those of you out there that have sort of hugged me, loved on me for just knowing that I have such a shit family that don't do that for me, and you know I don't deserve it, and I thank you for that. And anyone else in the comments too. Just thank you for that. I don't cry because I'm unstable. I am an empath and I give a shit about the world. I give a shit about everyone as much as me. And it's not good enough. The world's not good enough for you guys or for myself. And we all know that. And it could be, it doesn't have to be the physical health stuff. You don't have to have 22q. You don't have to, you know, understand. We all understand, whether it's through housing, healthcare, autism diagnosis, women. So many of you women deserve a diagnosis done properly, but because of this stupidism of like, no, we don't want to look at that. No. They're just lying to you guys. There is equal, Tony Atwood's been hinting at it for ages. There is no more boys that have autism than girls. The stats are showing that because they go on facts. And of course, in science, in psychology, you've got to go on facts. But what I will say, even though science is not absolute, always remember that. But basically, you deserve an autism test properly. Because so many of you are, that I speak to, autistic. And I'm sorry that the system wants to play games, but I want you to know that if you know when you're reading things and you go, oh, that's just so me, that's a sign. Because I know when I got diagnosed, I got ashamed. First, I felt better because I knew the remedies now. Weighted blankets, decompression time. I knew that I needed less socialization to make it more effective. I knew what I needed to do, and my life improved massively by actually knowing what's wrong with me, which is autism and ADHD. That one's still hard. But basically, I just want you to know that when after the shame went away and I looked at YouTube, found Tony Atwood, read some books, as in audiobooks for me, I'm dyslexic, but basically I learned, oh my gosh, that's me. And my life just improved. So even if you're self-diagnosed, just go with it and learn all about autism, because they have been lying to you and messing you around, and you deserve like what I went through. Because I know I went through sessions and sessions and hours and booklets, because there's a DSM booklet, etc. And I even said at the end that, am I really autistic? You're gonna have doubt, okay? And my person was a PhD doctor, and he does autism diagnosing for his whole career. So just know that, yeah, it's if you feel strongly you've got it, screw this like made up world by some cabal. Let's just be honest. Have you seen Jojo Siwa's new videos? There is a sick bunch of people running our world, not countries, our world. But basically, just go with it. And if you want to talk to me to find out if you're autistic, autistics spot other autistics very, very well. I'm very good at it. I even did it at my art exhibition to one of the servers she was wearing her beautiful black thing, and she had beautiful red hair, and she had them in braids all the way down the sides, 2 braids. And she was serving me, she was all dressed nice, like they do the server thing, and she's like, would you like anything to eat, And anyway, like, I just knew when I connected with her, and briefly, like that awkward kind of chit chat, and we were both awkward, but it was, and anyway, I kind of looked at her as she walked away, and I'm like, why does that person just feel like my people? And I picked it, and then we spoke later before we left, and everyone had pretty much gone, and she goes, I'm on the spectrum. I went, oh, I knew it. Oh, I knew it. I was catching it, and I could see it. That's awesome. And we spoke. So if you want an autism diagnosis confirmed, I'm not a licensed practitioner to diagnose autism, okay? This is for entertainment purposes only. It's a game, okay? It's a game. But feel free to email me and say, this is me. Do you think I'm autistic? If you keep doing this self-doubt, imposter syndrome, I've been there and I've had official diagnosis, okay? So feel free to do it, because I'm sick of people that are out there that know what's wrong with you. But anyway, back to life. Choose your life, choose your path. Otherwise, you're just going to be irritable, and people are going to throw that at you and judge you as being that's who you are, because that's all they see, because that's all they're causing in you. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, if you know what I mean. Sometimes they don't know they're doing it. Okay, this is not a negative like rant thing. It's just some people don't know they're doing it to you. They might just be, I don't know, in business mode. Because guys, sadly, our families should be doing these things. It's been commoditized. Is that, no, we've been made into commodities. It's business now, rather than families doing it for us. So it's never going to feel natural. But you can make it as good as you can. And that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I encourage you to do. And always be assertive and speak up. And if your people take your assertiveness and what your needs are seriously, then you have a good agency, and stick at them and support them and cheerlead them, etc. Because that's what business is. It's a two-way street, isn't it? So I wish you guys luck with your lifestyles, and wish me luck at straightening my lifestyle out, because as you've seen probably in my videos, I'm not my happy self. Now look, there's a second part there that's not 100% to do with meeting new staff all the time, because, you know, I'm getting ready for possibly extra hours, and yes, that is the situation that I have to deal with as well. But until the change of circumstances, I'm compartmentalizing to survive. Okay, so I'm going to stick to my 7 days a week, I don't know, 5-6 hours, whatever it is, a day, and leaving the change of circumstances thoughts to when it happens. There's no point in stressing about things until it happens. There's no point in overloading myself now. I've already got 2 new people now, so for an autistic that's a lot. So I'm taking care of myself. I encourage you to do the same thing, but just know that, and I know you guys say it to me, and look, there's always times you're like, yeah, I know that, because I do know that, because I've always had to be strong and alone. I'm a very strong person due to very sad situations I've been put in my life. But out of that means that I can be emotional, but that doesn't mean I'm broken. And one of you have said that, and I thank you for that, because you see that I'm not. This is just emotion of, I'm acknowledging the pain I've suffered, but I'm still strong. This is not weakness. Weakness is pretending like nothing's happening. Weakness is pushing everything under the rug and pretending that you are perfect and everyone else is the one with the problem. We all have problems. Okay, we all need to self-reflect. We all need to go, hang on, what's going on here? Weigh everything up of what others do and say. They're doing it too, so you get to do it. So anyway, I wish everyone luck on just living their best life, regardless of whether you've got a life-threatening condition like myself, okay? Just live your best life, because you don't know when your time is, yeah. Fact of life. Life is short, and life, trust me, I'm 51. Life is short and life is precious. Enjoy it, don't waste it. And you are worthy of the best care, of your family treating you well. And I'm sorry if they're not, and you're in my position and you have a family that you have no contact with, and some of them might be not your choice. They just aren't being nice to you. That's not okay. And just know that's not a reflection on you, that's a reflection on them. You are only ever responsible if you're doing things wrong. If you're being a person that's, you know, abusive, or, you know, whatever else is wrong. I don't know, there's many wrongs, but otherwise don't wear it. It's not a reflection on you. It's a reflection on their stability, of how they're handling life. So please don't forget your worth as a disabled person, because this world, we have a long way to go. We're not there. I don't care what any of you say. We've not come anywhere. It's just covert now. It's not overt. So sadly, we're still looked down upon. They just don't say it out loud. Same thing though. And aren't us autistics telepathic, yeah? We know it. They don't have to say it. Take care. I love you all. And I'll see you in the next video, which, let's hope it goes back to the way I used to be. Because you've probably seen the progression. I mean, that's good about having a YouTube channel, isn't it? It's like my daily diary. And you can see where I've come from, where I come to. I bounce back, guys. Don't worry. The rest of the day I'll probably be doing stupid antics and silly things, because that's how I survive. No, that's just who I really am. Love you. Bye.